Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 17 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Daniel Gutierrez. He's been watching us for like 7 years. Thank you so much. So Daniel wants to know, at this point in the game, who do I think has the best shot of winning? Now this was from a few weeks ago, so our options are a little bit limited now, but out of our final three, Vanessa, Steve, and Liz, I would definitely have to say, I think Vanessa's got the best shot. I don't see her losing in the final two. As long as she can get there, I think she's got it wrapped up for sure. Unless the jury is like extremely bitter. Alright, so let's talk about where we're at right now. Last night, Vanessa evicted Johnny Mac. It was really, really sad. I mean, like, it was upsetting because I was really rooting for him. But anyway, they didn't start the HOH competition during the show like we thought they would. I think they did the same thing last season. I forgot about that. But there was a very, very, very bright spot in last night's show. Congratulations to Brendan and Rachel and their baby. That's so exciting. Do you think it's going to be a boy or a girl? Let me know in the comments. Alright, so the final three. The feeds came back last night, and the final three were all discussing John's second eviction, and they noticed he got a huge, and I mean huge, applause from the crowd. So they figure he must have been a twist. Like, why else is he getting all that applause again? Maybe because he's friggin' awesome? Yeah. Okay, so Vanessa's not wasting any time. She's already beginning her campaign to make the final two. She was talking to Steve, and she was like, I want you to know, I have no final two deal with Liz. I've never had a final two deal with Liz. So Steve is like, yeah, but like, has she made any promises to you? Vanessa will not reveal that. She is not going to tell Steve if Liz has promised to take her or not. Yeah, so Steve is like, well, I think that you would have a much easier time beating me in the final two than Liz, so like you should take me. And Vanessa's like, oh, really, Steve? Like, I think you would definitely beat me. Come on, Vanessa, you know you could beat either of these people. Let's... She's obviously trying to set it up so that Steve is going to want to take her over Liz, but come on. Come on. Alright, so it's time for part one of the final HOH competition, and true to form, it's an endurance comp. So, the house guests were out in the backyard. They were hanging onto these ropes, but like sitting on a disc, and underneath the disc was like this red apple. So it was a carnival theme, and they were being like lowered into this red gooey liquid thing. So it was like they were, you know, dipping the apples into like caramel or something, except it was red. And then they would like bring them back up, and then they would go and slam them into this wall. But the wall was awesome because there were these mouths like painted onto it or whatever, so it looked like they were like going into somebody's mouth, and like all the teeth, and it was great. So that was funny to watch, but it sounded like they were in a lot of pain, so I feel bad about that. But then Big Brother was shooting some stuff at them too. I guess there was like powder of some sort. There was like this packing popcorn, paint, confetti at one point, so they were just throwing everything they had at them. And then I gotta say, like, this final three, they were in it for the long haul. Everybody was doing a really good job. There weren't any like moments where they just like fell off really early. It wasn't like Mike Boogie when he was just like, I'm out of here. Like, they spent all that time making that volcano. Come on. Okay, if you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So after about 3.5 hours, Big Brother was like, all right, I want to go home. Let's like finish this thing up. Because the competition started at like, I think it was like 8:40, 8:45 Big Brother time. So they were like, let's get this over with. It's taking too long. So Big Brother made them move down from the discs onto the apples. They had to sit on the apples, and it was significantly more slippery than the discs. So it became a lot tougher very quickly. So a few minutes later, Steve fell off. Ouch. So it came down to Vanessa and Liz. Vanessa is trying to convince Liz to jump off. She's like, Liz, you've got a better chance than me at winning part 2 of the competition. I'm old. If I can't like exert myself for this competition and then still have anything left for part 2. So like you should you should be in part 2. And then she was like, look, I could stay up here all night, so you better just like jump off now. So eventually Liz is like, alright. So she drops off about 15 minutes after Steve fell off, which means that Vanessa won part 1. She will be moving straight on to part 3, which will be live on the finale next week. So, after the competition, Vanessa and Liz were chatting, and Vanessa's like, yo, Liz, I'm definitely taking you to the final 2, but don't tell Steve. She told her, like, this deal is on as long as you don't tell Steve. So Liz was like, yeah, for sure, like, you're all I've gotten here. I'm not even going to pretend to make a deal with Steve because it's just never going to happen. So then Vanessa's like, well, I'm going to let you know. I might have to lie to Steve and make a fake final 2 deal with him, but this one's for real. Why would anyone believe anything coming out of her mouth? Like, this might actually be true. I could see her taking Liz to the final 2, but seriously, why would anyone trust her after what they've been through? So then they're talking about past moves in the house, and Vanessa's explaining to Liz why she wanted to keep her over Austin when she blindsided Austin. She was saying, you're more trustworthy. I couldn't fully trust Austin. So then Vanessa was telling Liz how Austin was making all these deals for himself behind the twins' backs, and Liz was like, I didn't know that. So, wake up call. I don't think she's too upset about it though, because she was like, he wasn't really going against me. He was just trying to protect himself. So, if you say so. This morning, all the house guests were really sore and really tired, but Big Brother woke them up for a nice-ass breakfast. It was also time for the final 3 to reflect on some of the best moments of the season. You know, they have their special Sunday show, which is basically like a recap show. So we'll be seeing that soon. And then I guess they're just going to be chilling for the rest of today. I don't see them doing part 2 today because part 2 is usually mental and physical competition. So I think they're going to give them a little bit of a break. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. I'm not sure if it's going to be Friday or Saturday. It could be Saturday. Give them some more time to recuperate. But if you guys know, leave it in the comments. So part 2 is going to be Steve and Liz facing off. Should be very interesting because I think Liz is definitely more athletic than Steve, but Steve, he's got it up here. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But let me know who you guys are rooting for at this point. And until tomorrow, much love.